Hello there, Itru here. Today's video is going to be covering the bus system. We're going to be going over the bus depots, we're going to be covering the bus network, the ranges, how you can extend it slightly, and when do the actual buildings like the culturals and the restaurants become 100% efficient. So let's have a look at some of the basics of the bus depots first. So the first thing we'll have a look at is the bus depots. They have a radius range and they have an overall global network on the island. What we mean by this is if you place down a bus stop or click on one, you'll actually see the blue circle as you would with a town hall or a trade union. And this is the distance that the hotel tourists will actually travel to for the actual attractions. So anything in range, so whether it be a hotel, a cafe, the World Fair, anything that is in range of this blue circle is the distance that the tourists are going to be willing to actually travel to. So this is what buildings are connected to that bus depot. The other item we have is the actual green highlighted area on the road network. This is the overall network coverage on the island. As we can see here, we have bus stops down here, covering over here, but there's nothing going up here. So the overall network is covering off here. Now, if we had a building up over here, it's going to have a reduced range on the actual, say if we placed a variety theatre up here versus a variety theatre right next to them, the actual network coverage percentage wise is going to be much stronger here than it is all the way over here. But more on this later. Now, there are buildings that have ranges on them, and if we have a look at the tourist buildings, the ones that have effective range on them are going to be the variety theatre, the cafe, the restaurant, and the bar as well as the cultural sets. The other items like the Docklands, the Palace, the World Fair, and the Iron Tower, and the tourist mooring are all 100% coverage as long as they are on the island and they have a green road touching them. The next thing we need to understand in regards to the bus network is the actual range and effectiveness of the buildings themselves. So going back to the ones that have a range on them, the variety theatre is either an on or off. It's either placed down and is in range, or depending on how far away from the actual network it is going to decrease the actual range on it. The restaurants have to be placed down similar to the actual variety theatre, and they actually need to have an actual recipe actually being made. So if you run out of resources on the recipe that's being produced, then the coverage is going to go from 100% down to 0%, and then the range, how far away it is going to inversely affect that coverage as well. Now, in regards to the cultural sets, this is slightly different. Again, you have a range from the actual bus depots and the tourist hotels is going to affect the coverage. And then there is also another factor as well, and that is how much attractiveness is actually going to be covering on this. So the basic understanding in regards to the cultural set pieces is if you have 300 attractiveness from your cultural set building, like if we have a look over here on this botanical garden, we have 331 attractiveness. Once we've gone past 300 points of attractiveness, it is at 100% efficient. Anything above it is just bonus. If we have 150 points of attractiveness, it is going to be at 50% coverage or give +1 happiness on the actual tourists. So as we can see here, we have up to 3 happiness, and at the moment, because we're at 98%, we're at +2 on the happiness. If we were at 50% coverage and at a peak range from the actual tourist building, we would be at +1 and at 50% coverage. So now we've got a bit understanding on when a particular building is at 100% efficiency. We now need to understand the actual range of the actual bus depots. Okay, so I have set this island up for a visual representation. I've laid down a road in dirt and I put the fire stations next to it as they are 5 in length. So two of them together is going to be a 10 block range or 10 tile range. As you can see, I've marked it here. So we have our tourist hotel, which is in range of a bus station, and we have a green network connection down to the variety theatre down here. So is it in range at 100% productivity or efficiency? No, it is at 86% coverage because of its range. So what is the distance of the variety theatre away? On a dirt road, the distance between the bus depots for it to be 100% coverage is from the last block here all the way to the where it ends and starts here is on dirt road, a 30 block range. On a paved road, it is 48 blocks long. Now, there is the range of the bus depots, which counts as an extension. Now, if we have them placed down this way, where it's 3 long, you get 3 extra range. If we had it too tall, you would have to have it too tall from this edge, so you can lose in a block on either end. So the overall network coverage from the very end of the first block and to the end of the last bus depot here is 36 on a dirt road and 54 on a paved road. Now if we copy this and move this here, so we have 30 blocks between here and the extension from the 3 and 3 is 36 tiles in length. We're now at 100% coverage. Now the thing we have to understand as well is as the bus depots are an extension from the plus 30 on the range from here to here is 30. However, the range on the actual bus depot, as it is a cube itself, is covering the whole section. So the actual range to 30 to here actually extends on these blocks all the way around here. So the coverage on the bus depots is actually extended when it goes around a corner, as it has the horizontal and vertical on it as well. So if we have a look at this, get rid of that. We do a dirt road there. Let's copy this. Now, the variety theatre has actually moved, but because the extension from the bus depot covers the whole area, it is now still in range at 100% efficiency. Going back to the actual bus depots, as we were saying before, anything in range of the radius of this blue 14 tile radius is going to be covered from the actual connection. That's the distance that the tourists are going to go to. And we know the actual connection between the bus depots is the actual limiting factor here. So it doesn't matter where the actual buildings are inside this circle here, as long as the range between here is 30 blocks, it will be fine. Whether the tourist building was here or up here, it doesn't matter as long as the bus depots are in range. So if we kept the building hotel here, in theory we can actually move the bus depot further away and keep it just in range, and then it's just like stretching the actual range of the bus depots. So if we have a look at this, it falls off range there. Now we've extended the range from the hotel to the bus station and keeping them happy from here to here. So now we've extended the range from this bus depot to this one. So if we have a look at this, get rid of that, the 30 range on the bus depot would actually have it running all the way up to here. So from here to here should be 30. If we copy 30 blocks here, which is that amount running from that last block, actually it is a little bit further than I thought. So if we copy that one to here, that is the plus 30 range there. And now we can copy this and we can actually extend the range on the variety theatre all the way out to there now. So if we have a look at the hotel, it's still at 100% coverage. Just by extending the range between the bus stations and the actual hotel and the variety theatre, we've increased the range on the variety of theatre from being here all the way out to this extended range down here. Now, there is one last little trick you can do to extend the range on the bus depots. However, I probably wouldn't recommend it as it's quite inefficient, but if you need that extra little bit of 2 extra blocks, you can extend it a tiny bit. And what we mean by this is if we copy a bus depot and put it between these two here, and we place it down long ways on the road here, so it's 3 long, you will actually get a 2-tile range on the actual last bus depot. So now we have that as the last part. We delete that, copy that, extend that by 2, which means we can now move this over by 2 as well. So let's just copy that. We place that here. Let's give that a second. There we go. And again, you could put in another one if you really wanted to here. And now we are at this range there. Let me just delete that. So we had 3 to there, 2 to there. There, that is where the beginning point is here. So let's just delete that. Let's copy that. And we're there. 1, 2, 1, 2. As you see, you can just daisy chain them together and extend the range. Now, you could, in theory, if you really wanted to, just start pasting them in next to each other and forever increasing the range on the bus depots, but you are going to literally tie up the whole road and get rid of all the network coverage on your power network grid as well. However, if you want to just boost it out a little bit, you can start adding in these extra signal boosters on the actual bus depots. Hopefully you enjoyed today's guide. If you did, do appreciate any subscription to the channel and likes on the video. And comment down below if there's another guide you'd like me to cover off next. Stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.